I'm just being real because you got to look at it like this. When you walk in the doors, you are no longer your own man. It's bad enough you stripped down of that by them, by coming here. I didn't ask to come here. Y'all sent me here. Now I got to fight for a bed and a family to be with.
Prison Stories 101. Man, it seems like it don't make sense if I ain't bringing Ice Gizzle back in the building, man. Once again, you've only been enlightening this channel to things that go on. At first, a lot of people was trying to, question if your knowledge and where you actually serve, but slowly but surely, those that have started coming in and confirming these stories that you're telling. But with that being said, man, how your spirits? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm breathing, man. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing all right. First and foremost, everybody always comments on your outfits, man. They always be like, man, this boy Gizzle coming through with some nice little fits, man. Do you be seeing those comments?
Yeah, I'll be seeing them, man. I appreciate the love, man. It's like I've been gone so long. I'm so used to dressing the same outfit every damn day, creasing it up and shit, that shit, I done fell in love with getting dressed every day. Even if I'm just going to the store, I'm finna get G'd up and soldiered out, you heard me, and shit, because I don't want to waste nothing.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of inmates who are released having to not pick their clothes or wear the same thing every day, I do see them being more stylish than most. Like they get out and they kind of, not say go overboard, but they be like, man, listen, I wasn't able to dress for X amount of years.
Yeah, man. It's a trip how the simple things in life you never pay attention to become your go-to and shit when you go through a situation. You know what I'm saying? Some of the smallest things that you don't even think about, a person after so many years of missing it, not seeing it, not hearing it, not smelling it. Once you get out and shit, you run right to it and shit. And it's just like a breath of fresh air, you know?
Exactly. I see you have a scar on your shoulder, man. Is that what war wound is that from? Is that in prison or out of prison?
Nah, this is out of prison, man. They made me go get a job when I first came out and I was in the halfway house, right? So I worked for this spot called Western Extrusions out there in Carrollton. And it's funny you say that. Super Bowl Sunday, a year and a half ago, well, almost 2 years ago, Super Bowl Sunday and shit comes along and shit, and I'm off. We do 12-hour shifts over there, and this place makes steel. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing but steel and concrete in this whole building, whole factory, right? So they're just like, hey, you want some extra hours? I'll throw them to you because we got a lot of people want to watch the game. I ain't too much into it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shit, fuck it. I ain't finna pass on no bread. That's time and a half. Let's get it. Man, I wasn't there 3 hours and shit, and I'm walking down the conveyor belt, and the entire ceiling fell in on me, bro. Nothing but steel and concrete. Wow. And for some reason, I was able to crawl from up under it. Yeah. My whole arm swelled up like I was looking like He-Man for real, you know what I'm saying, on one side of my body, you know. So I went to the manager on duty. I was like, man, and it was like, what the fuck happened back there? I said, I don't know. It just fell on me. You know, they went back there and it was like, you came from up under there? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, get the fuck out of here. I said, I swear to God, man, I was under that shit, man. This happens to be the one place in here that doesn't have cameras. So me fighting it in court and shit was some crazy ass shit. You know what I'm saying? They tried to say that my wounds were self-inflicted and that they was already here before. So in the end, though, they ended up paying for my surgery. I had to get a rotary cup redone and some shit like that. So that's where this scar come from. They lied and said, oh, once we do the surgery, you won't even be able to tell. There won't be a scar there and shit. Look at it.
They always say that. Wait, so you try to fight for more than just them paying for the surgery, for workers' comp or something. They denied it?
They gave me workman's comp as long as I was fighting, but keep in mind, this could have went on for 5-6 years. You know what I'm saying, in court. I'm fresh out of prison, bro. I ain't got time for that, bro. I got to pick myself up, dust myself off, and get to the bag. Do something for myself. Me sitting at home moping and shit with a slang on and shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't going to work. They say I couldn't work. They say I couldn't do none of this shit. You got motherfuckers out in my yard taking pictures and shit. I'm trying to mow my grass and shit. They like, you can't do that. So keep in mind, I'm just getting out of the halfway house, bro. In between this bullshit, and they had just got my apartment and shit. I lost everything because I couldn't keep up. Them giving me $530-something and shit a week didn't do it for me. It didn't. It didn't do it for me.
Yeah, that ain't no real
rent was $1,200. You know what I'm saying? I just got a whip. You know what I'm saying? Insurance and shit. Paying $700 something for, man, it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck y'all. Y'all can have it and shit. Cause I'm still telling my lawyer, like, how long is this shit gonna take? Oh, if you just be patient, you got millions coming to you. Do I really, bro? I'm gonna be a bum and shit before the shit come. Y'all gonna come chase me up on the bridge and shit. Oh, we got your check. We got your check finally. I lost my mind and shit.
9 years later.
Yeah, 9 years later, man. Fuck that. So I just moved on, man. I moved on.
Okay, war wounds, man. Ah, that's crazy. What are jobs that you notice that inmates who get out, what are some of the go-to jobs for those who are probably watching this and are fresh out that they should be trying to apply for?
Depending on what you can do, there's a lot of, believe it or not, there's a lot of go-to jobs. But the key is not who you know. I mean, what you know is who you know. You know what I'm saying? For most people and shit. Like, I ended up getting into security. Imagine that shit. You know what I'm saying?
You became the law. You became the law.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? After all this time of hating the police and all this type of shit, me being a security guard, it was like the only thing I could find that can fund what I needed to do. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I end up getting my gun license back. You know what I'm saying? After fighting for that and this, that, and the third. You know,
someone had asked, how did you do it?
How did I do it?
Get your gun license.
I got pardoned and shit by the nigga we all love to hate.
There you go. Texas is a gun-loving state, so it just fell in line. It just
fell in line. You know what I'm saying? He gave me my freedom and shit. I turned around and showed that I can walk that path and shit without getting any trouble, that I turned over a new leaf. They turned over my gun paperwork back. So, I mean, get what you pay for. So for those who say you can't, there's no such thing as you can't. It's all about what you really want out the deal. You know what I'm saying? So,
and when you mention security, you're saying it's who you know. Someone put you into that?
Yeah, somebody put me into that. Because they were just like, nigga, you always fighting and shit and do this, that, and the third shit. You good with your hands. You're a big old dude and shit. Actually, George Lopez.
Shout out G-Lo.
Shout out
T-Town Music.
So he was just like, yo, my partner got a bunch of restaurants and shit that need security. He said, all you'll be doing is standing outside and shit, you know, wearing a suit, this and that. And somebody acts up, beat their ass, get them the fuck out of there. It went from that to doing clubs, to doing apartment buildings and shit like that. And it was just like, look, you need a level in order to continue doing this because they cracking down. Because I ain't had no license, no nothing at first. And I'm like, fuck you mean a license? Like a police license? Like, I don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was like, nah, bro, it's just a license saying that you a license to carry, saying you license and shit to do this, that, and the third. And I was just like, I don't know about that. Let me look into it. So after looking into it and shit, I said, okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, you can't cheat the system. There's people you can go through, you know what I'm saying, if you pay you know what I'm saying, that'll jump over some hoops for you, do all the paperwork, do all the classes for you and shit, and you ain't got to go through that, and you'll get your level 2. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. That's real, and I think you even kind of graduated to securing for VIPs and very important people. So you kind of made it to a level.
Yeah, I made it to a level where I can protect anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I do bodyguard work. I do all kind of stuff because I had people coming to me and stuff, and you already know I'm in the limelight and shit. So everybody like, hey, let me holler at you. I got such and such coming in town and shit. What can I pay you and shit to watch his back? I was like, shit, let me get this, let me get that. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out what I was asking for was chump change. Just looking at me laughing like, don't even sweat it. We got you.
I don't know if that's a down south thing or I don't know, maybe the East Coast, West Coast move a little faster, but we always be humble with the price. And they be like, no, it's okay, man, we got you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm asking for too much and shit, so I'm like scared to really say what I want. You know what I'm saying? They come to find out, they laughing at me like, boy, that shit ain't nothing, bro. And shit, we got you and shit.
All right, let's get into it, man. First and foremost, I want to get your take, man. There was a thing that was posted about an inmate who was serving a life sentence. I forgot if it was an injury or if it was something that happened to him health-wise, but he was about to die, and then they resuscitated him. They brought him back. And he was in the argument that, like, if I'm serving a life sentence till I die, like, why
would you bring me back?
Yeah, that was my life. Now you got me going to a second life almost. What are your thoughts on that as far as the prison system keeping a man alive, I guess, through his natural life? I don't know.
It's a thin line. It's a gray area there because for most people that work there, it's your job to keep me alive versus those who come in the system and say, I'm just here to make sure y'all don't kill each other, but at the same time, I'm going to turn a blind eye. Fuck you. This, and that. It don't matter. All y'all need to die. People have different attitudes and shit when they get in those uniforms. Then you have those that really care about the inmates that'll come through there and make sure, like, if something happened, hey, I'm calling. You know what I'm saying? 216, ooh, we got this going on and stuff, and we'll save your life. He just been stabbed in the neck 13 times. They're going to save him. You know what I'm saying? The nurses, that's their job. They're going to come save him. Now, you being on death row it's a trip. If you on death row and shit, and you walking down the hallway, and 2 of the ops jump out and shit and beat you with a damn broom and a mop stick and try to shove it up your ass and shit, and you about to die, although you scheduled to be electrocuted 2 weeks from now, it's still their job to save you.
Right. Are they, like, they want to kill you their way? like
I'm guessing. You know what I'm saying? It has to go in the line of I don't know, but I've seen it time and time again. They will save you time and time again, but when it's time for you to be sentenced to death, well, you fried chicken, homie.
Yeah, I look at it like if there's an older inmate on death row, and he comes up with cancer, stomach cancer, whatever it is, will they want to treat him so he could get to the execution chamber? Or will they say, well, this is your death sentence anyway. You in here, you ain't going nowhere. Allow that cancer to take
I'm going to say this. If it's going to cost the state or the feds money to keep you alive, then they might just go ahead on and turn the blind eye and let you go and bleed out. Let you deal with that shit. Just give you the minimum of medication and visits to the hospital if you can and shit, but they're not finna do that much for you and shit because you scheduled to die anyway. You know what I'm saying? But if it's not that bad of a deal and shit, then they're going to do their job because that's what they get paid for. Certain people get paid for.
Now, you want to touch on a topic in which I want to go and jump into now because I have thoughts on this myself. But you had mentioned that there was an inmate who committed suicide.
Yeah.
And, if we're going to put hotlines down there. If anybody's thinking of suicide, again, there's hotlines to call, who's in the free world at least. But you had mentioned that he wanted to confess to his crimes.
He kind of did in the end, confess to it and shit, because he got away with it. See, this is what happened, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Allegedly, dude supposedly had not raped, but touched on his daughter, his biological daughter. And the wife walked up on him doing whatever it was that he did. They got them in a situation to the point where she stabbed him 5 times and called the police on him. He goes to jail. Now, it comes out doing all these trials and shit that dude had been going in this girl's room every night since she was 13 maybe. And this girl was every bit of 17 now. Doing whatever he was doing to her. You know what I'm saying? So the girl testified, the mama testified, and all kinds of stuff. They found pictures, like naked pictures and stuff that he had supposedly had taken of this girl and stuff. While she would be asleep, he would take advantage of her, lift her legs up and stuff, pull her drawers to the side, take pictures and shit like that. And his dumb ass kept the pictures. You know what I'm saying? So he went to court. Got a badass lawyer, bro. Badass lawyer. And he fought that shit to the point where he ended up being innocent. Oh, wow. Because they come to find out the daughter said something about that. She loved her daddy to the point where she allowed him to do what he was doing. She thought that was love. So then it goes from that to consent. You know what I'm saying? So some kind of way he got out of the shit, right? Boom. So let's fast forward and shit. Everybody had words about whether this dude should be allowed to stay around us or not because of this charge. But as the paperwork is stated, if he's acquitted of all charges and he's innocent, there ain't nothing can be done to this dude. That's just the law of the land. You know what I'm saying? Among us. So we weren't there. So we can't really say that, nigga, you did that shit or that shit was consensual at once upon a time. And it's just some weird shit. You know what I'm saying? So I end up getting into a fight with a white dude and shit, right? A white knight. We get into it. Boom. They move me. So I end up on the tier with him. So now we sellers. So he keep on trying to tell me about this, that, and the third, this, and that. I really don't want to hear this shit. You know what I'm saying? I really don't even want to be cool with this dude, but I got to be cool with this dude and shit because we stuck in here together. So every night when this motherfucker locks down, it's just me and him. So forever long this has to be and shit, I got to find some type of immediate ground and shit to where we can just be cool. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so fast forward, I'm in the cell with this dude like 4 months. He having these dreams and shit like a motherfucker every night, jumping out of the street. The fuck is wrong with you, bro? And he's like, nah, I had a bad dream. He's sweating and all this shit. Boom, but never told me what the dreams was about. Yeah, go back to sleep. Boom. This one day, they passing out meds and shit, and we sitting in the cell, and he starts crying. Not just like, oh, but like a teardrop from this dude's eye, and he's like, I can't do this no more. I said, what you mean you can't do this no more? You can't do what no more? Because you got the time. Because you got time for guns and some other bullshit that they found in the house, right? So deal with it, go on home, man. Some of us got to be here for a long time, nigga. You ain't got but a 5-year sentence, nigga. So he couldn't deal with it, bro. Later on that night and shit, Right after they called count time, I was wondering why he was just pacing back and forth, pacing back and forth. Then he stopped and wrote a little letter and shit, threw it on the thing. It's already after 10:30. Lights is out. So I ain't even see. I wasn't even worried about what he was throwing up there. He got a sheet. He got butt ass naked, bro. I'm thinking because a lot of times and shit, when we want to shower and shit after hours and shit, and we can't go to the shower and shit, we'll just put a sheet up. You know what I'm saying? Past the toilet from the vent to the bed and shit, so we won't see each other, either taking a shit or taking the bird bath, right? He raises up the damn sheet and flings it all the way around like this, ties it around the damn thing. So I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga doing? I just turned over. So then I turned over again and look, I said, man, I know this nigga ain't naked. Just walking around burning me the fuck up. I turned over, I said, I'm going to ignore this shit. And I'm going to check him in the morning and shit about this shit if that's what I saw. You know what I'm saying? The nigga climbed on top of the damn thing, wrapped the sheet around his neck and shit up there and said, bro, he said, if it ever came to it and shit, I'm sorry. I said, if it ever comes to what? He said, everybody gonna have questions after this, bro, but I'm sorry, I did it. He said, some things I didn't do that they brought up in trial, but it wasn't consensual, bro. I ruined my daughter's brain. I made her think it was cool. He said, I'm sorry, bro. He said, these nightmares are eating me up. I got to go. And he just, it's not far for you to jump off the bed. So I'm laughing kind of, because I'm like, you stupid ass nigga, man, what is you doing, bro? And he just sitting up there hanging like this. But he's less than a foot from the ground, bro. So he started, and I was like, oh shit, this nigga really fucking trying to kill himself. So I'm trying to get the motherfucking thing loose, but it's so tight I can't get it. So I run to the button and shit. We're not supposed to touch that fucking button, bro. We're not supposed to do that. But I ain't want this dude.
What is the button for those that don't know?
The button is a button that leads to the office, the pickets and all that shit, to the police and all that shit. Because if you pressing that button, you either doing two things. You telling them you got a medical emergency, or you trying to get out of that cell and go to PC because you fucked up. You trying to run. So I'm like, fuck, man. So I run over there and press the button and shit. The motherfucking CEO, yo, what's the matter? What's going on? I say, man, this motherfucker in here hanging himself. She say, who? I say, my fucking celly. Who else? They ran up in there, bro. Two people ran to the cell and shit and looked up in there and shit. The lights are still off, so they see him just dangling. And it's like, open the fucking door. Open 23. Open 23. They heard open there, run over there and shit, and they lift him off his feet. And they try to get the motherfucking thing off of there and shit. But dude was already gone, man. He was already gone, man.
This is in your situation, in your cell.
Huh? In my cell.
Yeah.
In my cell.
You mentioned that he was acquitted.
Yeah, he was acquitted of all charges and shit.
Why was he still in there?
Because they found illegal guns and drugs in the house.
Okay. So the major charges he was.
So he got 5 years for all that shit. I think he had some kind of sawed off and another pistol with they were both with serial number scraped off and shit or some shit like that. So that was at that point all they can get him on.
Man, the fact that he was waking up to nightmares of whatever was in his head, says a lot. So that makes me want to ask you, what are your thoughts on either guys on death row or guys who take themselves out early, who there's still question marks about the actual crime or the bodies where they're just details of the crimes. Do you personally feel that if you're on death row or if you're going to take yourself out, at least give the family some solace as far as what really happened versus leaving it because, you probably went to trial and said not guilty and went through
it's called closure. No matter how you look at it, it's giving them people closure. So I feel like whether you take yourself out or they take your ass out, you should come forward and give them people closure about what really happened. That's how I feel. So might say, fuck it, I'm going to stand on this shit to my grave and shit, then that's on you. But at the same time, you should be man enough and shit to get them people closure.
Do you look at it as a coward way out to not serve your sentence and take yourself out of
it? Man, yeah. In some ways, I do look at it like that's some coward shit. You know what I'm saying? Take your lick. You shouldn't give yourself a lick because you're preparing yourself for it. You know what I'm saying? But what they wanted was to see you fry. So who are you to take that from them? You feel what I'm saying? Who are you to take the only lick they can give you?
Yeah. Because normally they come to see it and the family come to watch you get executed. Like it's a whole ordeal they want to get some
they're
closure.
Coming for that. That's their closure. The only closure they'll get since you won't open your mouth and be honest about what happened.
What is your take on those who try to commit suicide and are not successful? Is there any sympathy for inmates like that and cut their wrists or did whatever?
Sympathy among inmates or sympathy
among inmates to that inmate who tried to take himself out?
Can't speak for everybody, bro. I mean, some people feel some type of way about it. Some people might feel sorry for it. It depends on how close people was with this person. You know what I'm saying? Then you have those and shit, just a regular day. We either getting in scraps, we even getting in riots and shit, somebody getting stabbed and shit. I'm looking out for it because there's nothing else to do.
When it comes to Epstein took himself out in the county jail awaiting trial. There's a big question mark as if it was foul play or did he really take himself out?
Man, I don't really think this dude did that shit.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I think he had enough money to get a stunt pulled. And I think he right back on his motherfucking island doing his thing. That's what I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah. But nah, stranger things.
Stranger things have happened, though. I mean, just look at how it all went down.
It's too many question marks. I'm like, why is there so many question marks of something?
You was heavily guarded and shit all the way to this point. And you mean to tell me nobody's seen you? Nobody's seen this going down? Come on, man. Stop it.
In situations like that, to where there's a host of victims, what is your thoughts to the victims that, like you just mentioned, the guy who took himself out, where I don't know whatever happened to the young girl, but she's probably traumatized because sometimes they do have what is called the, I forgot the syndrome where you start loving your aggressor, loving your victimizer. And
but that's some sick shit to turn your child into your lover. That's sick. You know what I'm saying? Right. Whatever he did, whatever he said to her to coerce her over the years and shit to make her twist her mind up to say, you're more than my dad. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be my first. I want you to play with me and did this, that, and the third. Because the girl never said nothing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. What is your thoughts towards the victims of Stockholm Syndrome is a word?
The mother caught him. Yeah. And that's what led to that.
Right. Yeah, I think there was a case that was, it was out in Cleveland, Ohio, where a guy had 3 girls in his basement for like over 10 years, had a baby with him and one of them and everything. And
I heard about that.
they didn't want him
They got a movie out about it.
Yeah, they got a movie out there. Amanda Berry and Fidel Castro or something his name is, or the victims did not want, she has a child with him. She did not want to see him on death row. Like, she did not want to see him be punished for this. Like, what are your thoughts as far as, those who have Stockholm syndrome? Like, the mother caught that one in that situation, but the daughter may not be like, I don't want him to be in trouble for this. What is your thoughts towards a victim's mentality towards that?
I don't know, bro. It's just some sick shit.
Facts.
At the end, because, and I have my own situations that I went through growing up in foster care. Me, my sisters, and my brothers and stuff, we all got passed around from home to home. And people would, molest us, could beat us and disrespect us and misuse us for the county checks that we were getting and shit like that. But some people are fucked up in the head, bro. When you can sit up there, talk to a child that has no common knowledge and feed them the same bullshit, and to the point they start thinking that it's what you're saying is right, all in the name of taking advantage of them. That's not right. So it makes me wonder, what the hell happened to you in order for you to do some shit like that to somebody else? It got to be a cycle.
And monsters create monsters. Without question, it takes me to, you've seen a lot of people probably come in for a lot of different reasons, through state and through Fed. What was probably the weirdest reason someone was in jail, in prison with
you? You meet all kind of people who have all kind of charges and allegedly say they was innocent, or say, they did this, that, and the third. And a lot of it sound good, but at the end, sometimes you find out these people was just blowing smoke up your ass. So unless you see the paperwork and understand that verbatim and shit, this is what happened, then it's a lot of gibberish people will tell you just to keep you off their ass.
Yeah, I'm thinking like somebody going in for like one charge to make them either selves feel tougher or even to change the fuck what they did. They might, can they lie about it?
Because I've had dudes that'll sit at the damn table with me and drink coffee. You know what I'm saying? Well, they would call it a pretty. We'll sit and have a pretty, you know what I'm saying, which is peppermints and coffee mixed in together, or a Jolly Rancher thrown into it and shit. And we're sitting there, and we're just sitting up there and drinking and talking and shit. And I'm like, where you from? You know what I'm saying? And he asked me the same thing. What you here for? And a person to tell their story, and you be like, that shit don't sound right. Like, I've had people literally sit and tell me in my face, all I did was this, and I know this about the government, and they was going to kill me, and this, that, and the third. So they set me up. They took this from me and stuff. And I'm like, you got 20 years for that because you know something. Like, I don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? But
do a lot of people come with conspiracies?
A lot of people, you have your fair share of people come through there with conspiracy stories and shit. You know what I'm saying? But then, like I say, until you hear both sides of the story, you really ain't got no choice but to go with what they say. You know what I'm saying? I don't know you from Adam. You could tell me and shit that you ain't here because you turned the tree blue. You know what I'm saying? Until somebody come up in here and say that nigga lying, you know what I'm saying? Or the paperwork display that's not what you're here for. I gotta take what you say for self-value. You know what I'm saying? Point in case, when I was going to court for my charge, I'm shackled next to a dude, a white dude and shit, bald head white dude, right? And we're back there eating a Johnny sack, waiting on them to call us.
Story back. And again, I want you to kind of bring it back in the sense that this is what he tells you. Like he tells you, he when he introduced himself, he talks about the marijuana charges.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, bring that back, and then bring back how much he had.
Okay, so here we are shackled together, me and this dude, right, bald head white guy, and I'm like throwing the small little scenarios out and shit because we both finna get sentenced. So I'm like, "What you in here for?" He's like, "Oh man, I got caught with like so many pounds of marijuana." So I'm like, "Shit, how many?" He said 365 or 67, something like that. So I'm like, "God damn." So I'm like, "Shit, I might have to come holler at you and shit when all this shit is over. We might have to link up."
Come up,
you know? So he's like, "Yeah, man." So he's like, "Yeah, man." So we get to Sherman, right? And we're back there in the back of the courtroom and stuff, locked up in this thing. They bring us some Johnny sacks. We're back there eating. So we're talking and shit, and he making me really think he knows what he's doing, like growing marijuana, because that's all he's back there talking about. So I'm like, damn. I say, he ain't gonna hit you with that much time, bro. You know, so he's like, "So hope not." So they call us, bam. They're escorting us. We change. We get through the courtroom and shit. There's like 4 or 5 white people back there. His wife, his daughter, middle daughter, and 2 other cats. I don't even know who they was to him. But he spoke like, "Hi, Mary." And she's looking at him like, "Don't fucking talk to me. Like, who? You disgust me." You know what I'm saying? That's the look she gave him. So I'm like, "God damn, bro. Like, how bad was it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did they have nowhere to sleep or something?" So he was just like, So we sit down there and cuff us. They bring him up front. He's talking. The judge is talking. So the judge said, "Sir, can you state for the courts your place of employment?" He says, Sunrise Daycare Academy. And she says, "What do you do for them?" He says, "I drive the van. I go pick up the kids, drop them off, pick them up, bring them back home." She said, "How long have you been doing this?" He says, "For several years." So I'm like, what the fuck this got to do with weed, man? You know what I'm saying? So she said, "So is that your wife, daughters, and your nephews or whatever back there in the back?" And he goes, "Yes, it is, Your Honor." "Could you tell us what did you do to your daughter that made them so upset?" He got quiet. She said, "Speak up. We don't have all day." So I'm looking at shit. I'm like, I'm so the dude next to me, right? I'm looking, I'm like, this is fucking weed. He's like, "Man, this dude a cold pedophile, man." And I say, man, I'm gonna kill him. I'm like, I'm wishing I could have get out these damn cuffs now and shit, just run up on this stupid ass. Cause bitch, you played me. You know what I'm saying? You lied to me all the way over here. You lied to me in the back. You just kept me going and shit instead of saying, "Man, I fucked up this, that, and the third." You know what I'm saying? Now, I probably would have beat you in these chains and tried and shit while back there, but that's about all I could do to you. You know what I'm saying? But now, when we get back, bitch, I'm fucking you up. You know what I'm saying? Any way I can, I'm fucking you up. But I just say this to say,
do you blame him
for lying?
Yeah, for like being scared. This is sometimes people's first time.
You weren't scared to touch that baby?
Yeah. No one wants the action that they did to someone done to them. They just,
Yeah,
But
you wasn't scared to touch that child. Well, really, both of your daughters. Because the sick shit I heard them say was that you even had installed micro cameras at the edge of their showers and watched these babies shower every day, take baths. And then you had the nerve to get on the internet and trade videos with other sick motherfuckers overseas. They found you with thousands of pictures of all these kids that you're supposed to pick up, bring to the daycare, and drop off. You had a whole secret room in the house and shit that couldn't nobody get in, where you did all your sick ass shit in. So what's to feel sorry for you about?
how many people?
Why would you even be scared?
Do you feel a lot of people play that tactic? Like, man, you don't really want to know what I really did, or they don't want no one to know what they really did, so they're gonna talk about some weed or some, I got caught, gun charges.
But it's gonna come to the light anyway. So why lie about it? Because personally, I thought that if you had these kind of charges on the way to court, they would separate us. But they don't care. They just, shackle y'all together and shit, and they put y'all in the seat together. They don't give a fuck what y'all done. To them, both of y'all fucked up.
I think sometimes laws know that someone has a real messed up charge where they want something bad to happen to them. So they'll put them in a scenario for something to happen to them. Like, based on you being a pedophile or something, or we're going to tip people off, let them know that
they do tip off.
This is what it is.
They do tip off. Now in the state and shit, they tip off to the point they'll get you fucked up. In the feds and shit, it's not even gonna go that far because you got an opportunity and shit to shake the spot before you even get there. You know what I'm saying? They already know when you come to their door what the fuck you did. So if you bold enough to get off that bus, you enter at your own risk. Because they gonna tell you. They gonna fuck your ass up. They gonna tell you. Enter at your own risk. If you this gang, you that gang, don't come here. You know what I'm saying? Don't come here. You did anything on any other farm and shit that was disrespectful and shit, believe me, it beat you here. If you know you got shit going on right now in the courts and shit, you on TV and shit, and it's you could have did it and you might have not did it type situations and shit, ain't nobody waiting. You guilty, nigga.
Is it ever a situation when it comes to someone getting raped in prison, to where is it normally a one-on-one scenario? I know you gave the story of the men in the shower, but do they ever have like a situation where it's a tag team, like say, I'm gonna go in there, get this man right. You coming right after me. Hey, it's my turn, Bobby. You, boom, I'm in there. Does it ever get to the point where like, damn, like there's no solace for this person?
I mean, throughout the years, it's been known to happen. Have I seen it like that? No.
Yeah, to me, it's wild to where you would think that a guard will be strolling every soul to where even if it was to happen, it's going to be over quick because you got to get out the way.
They're going to do their 8 and skate, bro. They're going to mind their business.
So how long of a time frame before a guard will come and check on somebody? Like let's say if
they can come in there as many times as they want to. The picket is right outside. Look, this is how it's built. When you come up them stairs and get into that block, the dormitories are set up like this: A, B, C, possibly D, depending on how many. But most of the times A, B, and C are 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? Right there in the middle is the damn picket where the laws sit at. The COs will sit right there. The cameras and everything. They see everything. periodically they're supposed to get out and roam and go. And some people can see that and be like, okay, we got such amount of time and shit before he get back because this bitch ass and shit just went over there and ate. Or he just went in one block. You know what I'm saying? So while he passing out mail or standing there with the fucking nurse and shit, doing whatever, you got this amount of time to get this over with.
Do the guards form such a routine that you kind of could know, like, I kind of already know their routine is pretty much, or are they set up to be sporadic? Like, nah, we ain't gonna give you times that we're walking around. You ain't gonna know that we do it every 15. We're gonna just sporadically do it.
That's what I'm saying. They can do whatever they want to do. So a lot of times sporadically when they walk around, or you have that certain CO that'll come on shift and you already know how he moves or she moves. So you know if you got to worry about her or not. But what you do have to worry about is the other COs and shit that's out there in the office and shit they're roamers. They roaming around. You know what I'm saying?
Is it lights off?
No, lights ain't off until 10:30.
Yeah, so from
at
10
night.
And what time they come on?
Like 6 a.m.
So from 10:30 to 6 a.m. What's going on? Like what's
shit,
everybody's supposed to be sleeping?
Sleep doing whatever you want to do. Reading, make you something to eat, showering, shit. I mean, whatever you want to do. Y'all talking, chopping it up. Niggas yelling all out the doors and shit. You know what I'm saying? At each other and shit. It just, whatever you got going on.
How active are the guards on this time?
At night?
Yeah, at night.
Ain't active at all. What's to be active about? Everybody's locked away.
That's what I mean. If someone was
so they're coming here, they might come once an hour and make their rounds and shit, look at the cells and shit. They don't see nothing weird and shit. They finna go back out and pick a play space. You know, fuck around, do whatever it is they do. Yeah. I remember one time a dude was getting his motherfucking ass tossed. I'm talking about they was in there fucking him up. You can hear him screaming all the way from 2 row. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know who pressed the button, but it didn't make a fucking difference and shit because they didn't, by the time they got there, that dude was dead.
What is their reaction time? Like, I remember you just mentioned the other dude, like you could, if you want to get it off with something, you at least got a minute, I'm assuming. Or the guards are pretty...
It depends. You got some COs that might sit up in there all day with you. Because he running in with another couple of inmates and shit about fucking football or something, looking at TV. He might have been in there a whole hour or something. And you be like, God damn, I wish he'd leave this nigga alone and shit so I can go do this, or I can go check on my wine and shit and this and that. Or is they finna come shake us down and flip this bitch over and shit. Or they finna do this, or I gotta put away my cell phone, I gotta do this, do that. You know, there's different guards that come through there and shit for different reasons. Some come to kick it and hang, and some come to terrorize. And then some, I'm just on shift, I'm doing my 8 skate. I'm gonna do my rounds, I'm going to the next part, I'm going to the next part, I don't give a fuck what y'all do. I'm just trying to make it. Because they don't pay me enough.
How often do a warden or like the high officers, how often do they come visit and see the
warden?
Yeah, like how often do like the big guys come through?
Man, you might see that motherfucker twice in a year or something. You know, if it's something going on and they showing some other people off and shit about prison and shit like that, probably the only time you see them. And 9 times out of 10, your ass going on lockdown and shit while they walk around.
If someone was to make a complaint about the conditions, like, hey man, this is hot. Hey, can you complain?
Conditions in the state or the feds?
Let's go both. Who can someone report something to? Like
many of your states, they're fucked up. You go to Mississippi and places like that and shit, those motherfucking prisons are fucked up. The water rusty and shit. The food is nasty, and shit, the conditions are horrible. But when you go to the feds, it's a different thing. And mind you, they used to call it club fed. Motherfuckers couldn't wait to catch a fed charge and shit because you're going to live a life of luxury. But as time progressed, they started taking things away from the feds too because motherfuckers can't keep their hands off motherfuckers. Vending machines. You used to have vending machines in the feds and shit on every motherfucking pod. Well, you can go get you a soda, chips, candy, and all that shit. That card and shit, they got your name and number and all that shit on there and shit. You still, right at the end of it, it says vending. Any federal inmate, they can show you their ID right now. They still got the word vending with the little arrows at the bottom of it and shit on the thing on it. But they're not useful anymore because they have taken them out. Why? Because niggas used to cut pieces of steel off of the motherfucker and shit and use it, kill somebody with it and do this, do that and shit. So now your privileges are being taken away because you're disrespecting what we're giving y'all.
That's real.
So now the only time you see free rail food and candy and stuff like that is when you go to visitation. Unless you pay somebody to bring in some shit they ain't got no business bringing in. So you have something exotic.
Conjugal visits.
No,
Is
I don't know shit about no
is that a thing in the states of the feds? Like, where did that exist?
The only place I knew conjugal visits ever existed was in New York.
So Texas ain't really, or they.
I ain't never seen a conjugal visit happen in Texas. Never.
Well, what are your thoughts?
When I was in Florida, I ain't never seen it there either.
What are your thoughts on conjugal visits?
Shit. But you
what would that
do? Calming down a prison?
Yeah, I say, what would that do for the prison system?
It'd probably be no motherfucking fights and shit and killings and shit. Motherfucker be too busy waiting on that pussy to come. Shit, I'm trying to spend that whole weekend with my girl in this trailer.
Right.
You think I'm finna fuck that up? Nah, you will get killed behind that. Fuck up if you want to. You know what I'm saying?
Come on. Like, do something to mess that up for me. We're going to have some problems. We're going to have some problems. Speaking of rules, what are rules of tattoos? Like, are there any rules as far as the type of tattoos you could get, where you could put them, what kind?
Technically, you ain't supposed to get no tattoos at all. It's illegal. But motherfuckers sit up there, break down calculators or anything like that and create a gun anyway and get some ink and shit and go hard. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. All my tattoos come from prison. I've never got a free world tattoo, nothing on my body. I have 36 tattoos and all of them come from prison.
That's great. Is it normally the essays that do tattoos?
Nah, you got black dudes that do it too, white dudes and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got some cold motherfuckers and shit. You got some of your coldest motherfuckers you'll find is right there in prison.
And again, break it down. How are they creating these tattoo guns? Like, what ways, what methods?
You could take a fucking calculator, or you could take an ink pen and a fucking. It's all kind of ways, bro. It's all kind of ways and shit to make a damn tattoo gun.
I think I seen pictures of Blueface where he's gotten even more tattoos while he's in prison.
But you gotta watch that shit though.
Yeah, please.
You gotta watch that shit though, because the perfect way for your ass to catch what do you call that shit? A staph infection or what you call it? Because I see it all the time. Dudes sit up there, they don't clean them needles and shit, or they using some type of material and shit that they found and shit, and you don't know what's in it. You know what I'm saying? And you just inserting that shit. Tap, 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 tap. Next thing you know, boom and shit. You got sores and all that shit on. No, you can't let anybody do your tattoos just because they can draw and do this shit. They got to be clean, bro.
What are the rules to passing a kite? Like, if somebody doesn't pass that kite along.
What you mean?
Like rules? when you throw a kite and let's say it gets to somebody and they don't, you trying to get it to 3-roll, you trying to get it down the block.
About fishing.
Yeah, fishing. If somebody got it and say, man, this is my shit.
If somebody intercept a kite that I throw to somebody, I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna see where it's going. You watching your string and shit as that shit fly into somebody's cell. And if somebody throw their line out there and they get tangled up and they pull it in and they start reading your shit, you're gonna be like, hey, mind your business. Shoot that shit back out there and shit and get it to 23 cell. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers gonna do that and shit because if a motherfucker feel like you in their business and shit, you gonna have to answer for that shit when these doors roll.
When it comes to someone serving, let's say 5 years, another person serving 20, do you feel that both those time frames that those two inmates could do their time the same, like based on how they move? Like serving 5 years and serving 20, there's no difference in mentality and how you need to move.
State or fed?
Let's go both again. Let's go. You know, it's very rare we have somebody who's done both. So
because it's different.
Yeah.
If you got 5 years in the state and this person got 20 in the state, they're gonna move completely different. You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be backwards. You would think the one with 20 years will be the one moving recklessly and don't give a fuck because he got all that time. But 9 times out of 10, the person that got the least time is gonna be acting the donkey because he ain't gonna be that long. Long as he don't catch a fresh charge and shit, he gonna do what he wanna fucking do. You know what I'm saying? Unless somebody pull his coattail and threaten him and let him know that we ain't rocking like that over here. You know what I'm saying? Now in the feds, 5, life, 20, it don't even matter what time you got. Everybody gonna move on the same beat, same accord. If not, you out of there just as fast as you got there. They're gonna shut this bitch down. The helicopter gonna come and shit, and they gonna light your ass off that hoe because you a liability. Other than that, and you ain't gonna be you. Damn, why I'm so tongue tied today. You're not gonna be able to tell who has what time and shit because it's not gonna be discussed. You move how you're supposed to move, and that's that.
What are your chances of getting out in the feds versus the states? You know, through appeal processes, through just whatever, you know, parameters or loopholes. Are you pretty much tied to the time you're about to do in the state? Because I know it could be a difference as far as filing appeals, getting stuff done, how quickly
you mean somebody who got state and fed time at the same time?
No, I mean, just since you're the person who served both and no men who have served both, what are your chances of likely getting out of your sentence? Because, you know, most people that come home didn't have to serve their whole time. Maybe something happened and maybe they got pardoned or whatever. In the feds and state, it seems like...
in the state, you never know when you're going home. Now, if you get in that library and fight your ass off and shit to figure out where those loopholes is to make them get up off you and shit and drop your charges and shit, kudos to you. For the rest of us and shit, you either gotta act accordingly and shit to these bitches and shit, pull you up every time for the parole board to say, hey, we think he ready, he can go, you know what I'm saying? Or you gonna get denied year after year. Simple as that. Some people get lucky, some people get fucked.
And before you speak on Fed, can you manipulate the parole board and say, can a man go in there and mentally manipulate them to?
No, I don't think you can manipulate them at all. I think because they've already been watching you.
Yeah, they have your file. They've been watching you.
They got your file. They've been watching you. They hear about what you do, whether you participating in going to school, trying to better yourself, getting in programs and shit, working and shit like that. They're paying attention to all that. But they know shit from sugar. They deal with enough inmates year after year to know that you're only doing this so we can let you go. Oh, you're really a changed person. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they can be wrong. They can fuck up. Players fuck up too. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part and shit, And them people ain't trying to hear. They already know what they're gonna do with you before you even sit before them. But the people that you have on the outside is what make the difference when you in the state. That's helping you, looking out for you, writing letters and shit, telling them you got a church behind you. We got him. If y'all let him go, this community, he got a whole community behind him. Or he getting in school, he doing this. He has a house to come to, a loving family. Versus, I did what I did. I'm trying to change this shit. Y'all gonna let me out of what? They're gonna be like, what do you have to offer? What are you going out to? What's your plans when you get out there? And you like, oh yeah, you talking good, but they're gonna be like, we good. Try again next year. You have nobody to back you. So basically, what you say ain't shit. It's the people that's behind you that make all the difference most of the time.
That's right. Do COs get to, partake on saying, hey, nah, he's a good one?
I don't know.
I would say, yeah, it doesn't mean like
I don't know, to be honest with you and shit. I mean, I've heard of CEOs politicking during somebody's parole hearing and shit. That's because whatever they've done during their time there to make their time a living hell and shit, they can't even speak on it.
Just let me ask, do you have, and hold on real quick before we get to that. When it comes to the feds, I have to ask, when they give you those, when you get those points and you got those months, and I hear people immediately try to go to the appeal the case and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
How is there hope? Like, because I think that's what people do as far as they keep going up for appeals, and that's their hope each time. As far as they get only so many appeals, so that's kind of their. Yeah. Through the first few years, that's what kind of get them through, because one might kind of go through.
They're hoping that they get that appeal and shit, and everything can turn around on them. But let me tell you, shit, I don't know a whole lot of people who made it through that. You know what I'm saying? Or they might got their appeal and shit, went back and shit and fought that charge and ended up coming back with more time.
Damn. Now that's wild. That's what you fought and then came back with more time. It can happen. Just let me ask you, what if you have one? What is your favorite prison movie?
Favorite prison movie?
You got like the Green Miles, the Shawshanks, the Hood movies. Lockdown. You got
I don't think I have one, bro. What's the movie with Too Sweet and all them and shit? Dispute something.
That's a good question. And those are more like do you prefer the hood movies? Or do you even care to watch movies about prison? Like, does that turn you
Not
off?
Not really. You know what I'm saying? If prison is involved in the movie and shit, you know what I'm saying? I'll watch it and shit, but some of this shit be so far-fetched that I'll be like, man, stop it. That shit ain't popping off like that in there.
No, for real.
It'll make you mad because you lived this life and you got to sit up there and watch this movie, especially when they put some bullshit out there talking about based off a true story.
Yeah.
And you get to watching it and then you start balling your fist up like,
ain't no way.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that movie's called, it's called Penitentiary 2. But
That's it.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
I got to get your take. We were talking about Boosie the last time, as far as him possibly about to go serve some time for the plea deal he took. I know he's looking at sentencing date. But then you see his son,
Tootie
Raw, get hit with the same situation.
Charges. A switch.
Having a switch off.
A switch and, oh, man. He out of there, man. He out of there, man.
It makes me ask because, as privileged as his life is, for him to still get hit with the same charges his dad is currently fighting at this exact moment. How often do you feel like father, like son, sins of the father?
You see it all the time in prison. In prison, you see it all the time. I'm one of them. My dad did, my sperm donor did like multiple years in prison and shit on multiple occasions. He was a kingpin drug dealer / some other things that I'm not gonna put out there, but you always hear people say the apple don't fall from the tree.
Yeah.
It's kind of true. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're raised in a certain environment and then you're raised by a certain individual, what you think gonna happen? All I know is what I see. You know what I'm saying? All I know is what I see out here. And if it started, they say respect and discipline starts in the home first. So if I'm not getting that in the home, what you think gonna happen once I walk out there in the streets? You know, a lot of us don't agree with it, but I can't get mad at you for disrespecting me if I've been sitting here disrespecting myself from day one. I can't.
That's hey, message.
You know,
message.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's real talk. You know, a lot of us sit and watch our parents do certain things and shit. Like right now, I don't care about the backlash I get for it. It is what it is. These last few generations and shit, the parents they're out of control. They scared of their children, for one. And then for two, they do everything they're not supposed to do in front of the child. And these are habits that they pick up because, shit, it's cool to beat the shit out of my old lady and shit. I want my daddy to do it to my mama every day. Shit. And she stayed with him 17 years. So who are you to talk to me and tell me about me? You feel me?
Come on.
When they say you're a product of your environment, that's what they mean. Because it starts in the home.
Whoa.
You got grandmothers, daughters, nieces, all going to the club together now. You go in the club and shit, you're going to see the whole stack.
Yeah.
She's teaching this one, and she's teaching this one the same shit.
On the flip side of that, and I don't know if you've experienced this, but have you seen to where there was a father and son housed in the same prison?
Yeah. Now, would they put them in the same cell? Normally, no.
Yeah, that's it.
No. Normally, they try to keep you off of the same farm together, but some of them fight to get from wherever they at to wherever their children are or to wherever their fathers are. And it happens. They'll be like, oh, yeah, he's only coming here for a weekend so he can have some time with his son. And they're going to put them in the cell together just for that weekend and shit. And after that, he going back to where he came from.
Yeah, for a weekend, he could probably...
Yeah, that's a visitation.
Wow.
You could put in for something like that.
Wow. Non-freedom visitation. And what are the rules of letting someone out to go to a funeral, depending on who passes away? What are the rules of that? Like, how close?
Well, you have to talk to your chaplain and all of that kind of stuff and go through that and see if it's okay for you to go to a funeral. You have to get guards to go with you and shit and bring you back. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You're going to be shackled the whole time and shit. They ain't going to just let you go and just expect you to come back. They don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like them days of furloughs and all that shit dead. That shit over. That shit over.
Why would they take those things away? A conjugal visit. These are things that to me could at least help you pass. Are people abusing these systems to where it's...
You just answered your own question. They abuse these things to the point where they had to take them away from them. I can't sit up there and keep putting vending machines in your dorms and shit if you're gonna take it apart and half of the population gonna be dead before morning. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. Rules are put in play for a reason. And when they say club fed, they used to call it club fed for a reason because you had money. Most of the time, when you went to the feds, you had money, you had clout, you had all this shit, you had reach. You know what I'm saying? So it was nothing for you to walk around and shit in a satin robe and shit in your cells and shit with a rug around this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Your shit looking like an actual motherfucking room and shit instead of a cell. You know what I'm saying? Walking to the vending machines and shit, and you having these flunky looking faggots and shit run around looking like real women and shit. It was nothing for that. You know what I'm saying? But as time progressed, they started abusing the things they was giving them. So they took them away. They took them away. So now the feds got petty gun charges, petty thefts, petty drug dealers, and shit like that. So this is why the feds is wild now. It used to be, it didn't be like that at all. It wasn't like that. When you knew you was going to the feds and shit, even to a USP, the penitentiary, you knew that you was okay. You gonna live good. No, not so much. I ain't gonna lie. I would rather go to the state now than go to the feds.
Hey, that's a first.
I'm just being real because you got to look at it like this. When you walk in them doors, you are no longer your own man. It's bad enough you stripped down to that by them by coming here. I didn't ask to come here. Y'all sent me here. Now I got to fight for a fucking bed and a family to be with. And to clear my motherfucking name and shit because I'm automatically suspect walking in the door. Ain't nobody fucking with me. Ain't nobody giving me no care packages and all that shit. I can't speak for other cars, but Louisiana cars, shit. Until that paperwork come in and shit, fucking with you. And they wishing your paperwork come back fucked up and shit so they can jug your ass up and have you lights lighted off of that bitch. Who wants to live like that, bro? Who wants to be at the command of somebody they don't even know? Do this, do that, do that. Come here. What's up? And then at the drop of a dime and shit, you can have me wasted like water.
It's all a game in the goddamn first place. Can you pick and choose? I mean, of course you can't pick and choose, but can you have any type of influence on where you get sent? State or federal?
No, hell no. It go by your social security number. First of all, it go by your social security number and where you caught your charge. Them the only two places you going first. Now, when you get there, that's up to you if you want to stay there. That's up to you. Because you get to putting in some work, get caught with a knife, do some dumb shit, getting caught in a riot, having sex with a punk, whatever. You get caught doing some fucked up ass shit, you gone. You going to the hole till they find somewhere for you to go. And ain't no telling where you going. You might go to Florida, you might go to New York, you might go here, you might go there.
Is it normally a bus ride? Plane ride?
Yeah, it's a plane ride.
Con Air.
Well, it's worse than Con Air. But when they put them black boxes on you and shit, you tied up in the air. And the feds is sitting up there walking around and shit like it ain't nothing with their parachutes on. You ain't got damn parachute. Plain raggedy in the motherfucker and shit. If this bitch pop off or something goes on and shit, they gone. And they're going to leave you in that bitch.
Again, it goes to say, it goes without saying, again, prison ain't no place for
Prison
the
is
weak.
no place for no man, bro. And see, and this is another thing I wanted to tell you. You know, I'm trying to start an organization and shit because in order for somebody to stop the actions that they have now as felons and shit or going into felonies and shit, you got to replace it with something. They need jobs. They need places to stay. They need to be around people and shit that can actually cater to them and give them knowledge and shit that can, you know what I'm saying, give them some sense of being abroad. Go somewhere, do something. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But if you just keep telling them, oh, stop doing what you're doing, you ain't right, and this, and that, and going to prison ain't cool, this and that. Okay, nigga, I hear you. But I still got to pay bills. I still got to get out here to people yelling at me. I still got to get out here to fucking child support and all this type of shit. So what am I supposed to do? It's not easy to get no job, bro.
Yeah.
So it takes somebody to know somebody. So I'm asking anybody out there who got jobs for people, who got any kind of resources, any kind of programs and stuff that these people can go through, please holler at me. Please holler at me so I can get it to the people who need it.
Come on. No, it's definitely necessary. As far as it's one thing to tell someone don't do this. Like you said, they got to still log off that internet and see about real life.
Real life.
In real life, it hit you right there in the mouth.
And it's not going to stop, bro. Bills don't stop. You know, let me tell you who the biggest gangsters is in the world, bro. Rent, car notes, insurance. Their little homies and shit is groceries.
Come on.
Little insurance, child support, gas. And they at your throat every day, every waking moment, nonstop. And you can't whoop them.
The biggest, the largest. Nah, that's some facts for you.
So if we can't replace their thought patterns, if we can't replace the petty thefts, the check writing, the fucking drug selling and all this shit with an opportunity to do the right thing and shit, we just talking shit, bro.
Yeah, I think normally we kind of get to this point and we'll try to have a conversation about what, hey, what, Gizzle, talk to the people. What should they not, what should they be scared about? But I think, again, like you said, what you would like to do going forward. And again, I want to make sure that I'm partnered with you in this to where we could actually give some resources. Like you said, reach out to them. Those who are offering jobs. I know a lot of ex-cons look at the CDL as the way to go as far as getting a CDL license and becoming a trucker. But there are more jobs like security and things of that nature. There are more scenarios that can be tapped into.
We need more jobs than that because everybody can't drive a semi. Everybody can't get out here and secure a building. They won't even feel right doing it. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. So we need more than those two things to amplify all these people that's coming into freedom. You know what I'm saying? That don't feel so free no more because it seems more slaverish out here than it does in there.
Do you want to, as of right now, would you like for them just to leave comments as far as how to reach out, or do you
comments, addresses, phone numbers, emails, whatever you can do? You know what I'm saying?
No, definitely. We're gonna make it work like that. With that being said, once again, we've another stellar conversation. Again, so much knowledge, so much game given. I got to say it. Ice Jizzle, they kind of cater to your rhetoric, and hopefully it lands on not only deaf ears, but the ones who are actually open to taking your criticism. Hopefully they are taking what you're saying and applying it. So now we definitely want everyone to, if you know anybody, you know someone that could, of course, that's hiring, that has a system in place to hire those who are looking for work, looking for some kind of help, please leave a comment. Let's definitely get something in place, and we'll see as far as going forward what we could build with that. But once again, Ice Jizzle, let them know how to follow you. Let them know kind of
Man, I'm on all social media sites, man. Ice Gizzle, ICEGIZZLE, 5200. Facebook, Instagram, whatever you have, I'm on it.
Come on, let's go. Well, you already know what it is, man. Ice Jizzle, Prison Stories 101. Hey, man, I salute you.
Salute, bro.
Let's go.